Remember the first time I met him? I'd been here a few years actually, because for the first few years of my working at Multimedia, I was mostly on radio and hadn't had the opportunity to do much television. But when I joined the crew of the AM show on TV, that's when I got to know him. And the first thing I noticed was that this guy seems to be involved with everything. Everything. Modestus knows about everything you are doing. As long as it involves television, he's aware of it. And he's helping you do it. He's the most collaborative person that I ever worked with. He knew about every project I was doing. One day I was just sitting at my desk. He came up to me and said, "Kojo, you know that new show you're doing, the tourism show? I have filmed an episode for you." Modestus traveled somewhere in West Africa and found a place that had gorillas, a gorilla sanctuary, and filmed an entire episode of Explore. The whole thing by himself, and brought it. Even wrote a script for me to do a voiceover for the episode. It's almost as if he's doing it with me, and that's how he was about everything I did here. He cared about me in a way that I thought was so special until I realized he does it for everyone. Modestus made everybody's life better. And now that he's gone, everybody's life is poorer for it. Charlie, you know, try. But we know you're in a better place. At least that gives us hope. You've done well. So you must rest well, Modestus.
So on Friday, before Modestus did his thing, we had a conversation. We didn't finish. It was about something that affects all men. And we ended it in a very interesting way. What we said was that, in fact, in this life, we should be free-minded. You should say what you think, eat what you want, and have all the joy that the life you have been given can offer you, because you do not know when you would go. And you must just learn to forgive people and love people and be there for people, because that's all this life is about. And that conversation we were having, we deferred concluding it on Tuesday. Only to be told on Tuesday that Modestus is ill and is in a critical condition. So we have an unfinished conversation. He and I need to have that conversation, and he has to give me my answers. There's still some coffee that ought to be drunk. But what does this all mean to us? It means that you should not lose an opportunity to tell your friend or your brother or your sister that indeed they mean so much to you. So maybe I failed, maybe I didn't say it, but for every cup of coffee that we shared, it is love. For every charger that I gave you, it is love. And we exchanged our energies, and you called me commercial and I'll say commercial. It means that we had a lot to share together. I just have chosen to exit too early. Sleep with my brother, and I'll come for my answer in about the next 50 years. Sorry that you left. We'll be here.
Modestus was a tower of energy, of loyalty, and industriousness. By these, I'm not referring to him as a perfect man, because we're all human and we have human tendencies. but loyalty in the sense that you saw him day in and day out show commitment to the work he did and to the environment where he traced or traces his livelihood, which is here. I admire the energy he brings to the table. And it is always said that for those of us who are in the front line, which is those of us who are on air, there's a lot of self-inspiration and self-motivation that we need to do on a daily basis. Because nobody cares whether you have a headache, nobody cares whether you had an accident. Everybody knows that by a certain time you go live, and so they expect you to be there. But Modestus was that running engine that always was oiled and always had power to move. One of the things I admired so much about him during his lifetime was the continuous efforts in sharing and giving his team members the opportunity to also put themselves out there and grow their craft and grow within their respective spaces. And I guess that is one of the reasons why a lot of his team members drew close to him. Of course, like I said, in the delivery of everyday work and in the want to seek perfection and to stay above competition, we may have our disagreements and all. And I believe, human as he is, he also had his disagreements on certain days, or sometimes he took decisions that not everybody was pleased with. But on the general scale, we all have had something to learn from him and be resolute in our minds to ensure that we also pay our respects to him, because he does deserve it. He was a great tower of energy. He was a great tower of industriousness. And he was a great tower of loyalty. So, Modestus, do journey well. It's going to be a difficult time, but only God knows. May God keep you safe in his arms. Amen.
Modestus, the giant of multimedia. I mean, I looked forward to having my usual handshakes with him because I thought that I had a big pound, but you shake Modestus and yours is lost in his because he was a very huge, humongous person. And so was his personality as well. I mean, even on the work, he came across as a very, very, solid, huge figure, and he issues directives and he's very firm, but sweet as well. Very humble guy, at least the little bit I know. We used to have conversations about how his children will listen to my show and want to come into the studio. And to date, one of the things that hurts me is the fact that I never got to have him bring the kids over. He always said, oh, they want to come visit you in the studio. And I'm like, yeah, bring them over when you can. And that never happened, and he's gone. But I think if we have to mention some of the diligent workers of multimedia, it's got to be him. Very, very professional. There are times that you go request for cameras and whatnot, and he'd actually help and make sure that you're able to get through with whatever you want to do. So he was very supportive with whatever that you requested of him. And I think that we've really lost one of the best workers in this company, and of course great humans as well. Always with a smile when we catch up or meet up in the corridors of Joy FM. And there's so many fond memories that we're gonna keep with us forever. Sadly, he will not be here, but may his soul rest in peace.
I've known Modestus as a great person, and for me, losing him obviously brings a lot of memories. I remember when I started, having to go out there to interview great personalities from Hollywood, even Nollywood. At any day, any hour, at any point in time, when I picked up my phone to call Modestus, he will pick up the call, and the first thing he will ask is that, what can I do for my beautiful lady? And when I tell him, I will not even finish whatever I'm trying to tell him, but he will tell me that you are sorted. And by the time I come to the office, my camera and everything I need to get my work done is sorted out. It's not to say that there are not other people out there who can equally do whatever he's doing, but there's a connection. There's some collaboration, somebody who understands what you actually want to put out there. And to know that he's no more is very painful. It's like we keep losing the good people out there, but I know that our Maker knows best, and wherever he is, I just want Modestus to know that we all love him, we cherish him so much. Even as he's not here with us, we'll continue to love him and we'll continue to remember him for all his good works.